Welcome to 40 Days of Lenten Devotionals. My name is Mary Lahosky and I serve currently as clerk of the session. The story in today's scripture is a dramatic one and it has lots of visual details, but what caught my attention this time were the contrast captured within the story. For example, when Jesus got in the boat on one side of the lake, there was a crowd of people wanting to be with him. And when he crossed the sea and landed on the other side, there was just a single solitary man. When Jesus asked the man his name, the man said his name was Legion, for he was many. As Jesus had crossed the sea, he had calmed the storm, and when he landed, he calmed the storm that was in the man's soul. He cleansed him of his demon spirits. After he was healed, the man begged to come with Jesus. And yet the townspeople, when they heard what had happened, they begged Jesus to leave. And then we have the disciples. As Jesus was crossing the sea, the storm had come up and the disciples were scared for their physical safety. And yet once they landed, the Jewish disciples observed Jesus violating so many of the Jewish purity laws. How terrified they must have been in their souls to see their leader blatantly violating the laws of their religion. But even more interesting to me than these contrasts is to ask the question, where are we in the story? For example, would I be among the townspeople when I had heard what had happened? I came running, and I failed to see the man who was now healed, and instead saw my property drowning in the sea. How many times have I focused on property over people and failed to see God working in front of my very eyes? So if Jesus came to my neighborhood, might I be one of those who begged him to leave? Or maybe better yet, what are the demons that are storming inside my soul? What is it that keeps me from seeing God working in front of my eye? And that keeps me from living in full community with all of God's creation. So perhaps this Lent, it's a good time to open our hearts a little wider, to practice focusing on who and what Jesus saw. And who knows, maybe with some practice and maybe with our hearts open a little bit wider, we might be surprised by what falls in and the new life that occurs.